here for me, an impromptu live. I'm really enjoying making videos from this live format versus actually sitting down and recording them, as it forces me to actually say what I have to say instead of trying to adjust it over and over again. So I made a commitment on here to be doing videos more consistently and more regularly. It's not the first time that I've made that commitment and failed to see it through. So I've been away for several weeks, and I wanted to talk a little bit about where I've been, what I've been up to, and just kind of an insight and a lesson that I've learned since then that I was sharing yesterday with a client of mine. That just seemed very, it's just something that I think a lot of people could benefit from. It's a lesson that I benefited from. So I've been away for the last couple of weeks. I've been pursuing a career in the fire service for the last couple of years. It's something I've thought about for a while, something that I've been encouraged to do by mentors and people in my life, and something that makes a lot of sense logically. Becoming a father, having consistent income, having benefits, having a place to apply and bring all the skills that I've developed over the years. So the fire service has been something that I've been putting my eye on, putting applications in for. I bought a suit, doing interviews, this whole process. And I received an offer to do wildland fire. I received an offer in the spring of this year, but being a new father, having a 1-year-old, and also something that I've been up to lately is I've been spending a lot of time in recovery meetings trying to create healthier ways of managing my emotions, in particular developing friend groups, dealing with addiction. And so I got this offer to go do wildland fire, which was great, but as I felt into it, as I pondered on it, as I thought about it, as I leaned into it, it just didn't feel like the right timing and the right move. And I had this argument with myself, with God, with my intuition, with this part of me that kept telling me no. And this part of me that kept telling me no, that this wasn't the right move. I got the invitation for the interview, and no sooner did I get the invitation for the interview that I had this intuitive hit that this is not the right move for me. So I went ahead and did the interview. I reached out to some friends, got some feedback on whether or not I should do that. Went ahead, did the interview, got offered the job, came back home, and then spent like a week meditating, journaling, praying, talking to people, trying to sort out whether or not to do it, because I still had this hit that it was a no. At the end of that, I was able to decline the offer, and it was clear to me that I needed to spend more time and energy focusing on my recovery and focusing on connecting with people, focusing on zeroing in on my emotions and finding healthy outlets for them. That was where I needed to be spending my time and energy, not, out in the woods where it'd be difficult to do any of those things. So I declined it throughout the summer. I continued working, doing landscaping, doing coaching, and then picking up a job. Well, I'll go back in this way. So I've been having this back and forth with like that intuition, that part of myself that says no. I said, okay, well, you keep saying no to these things. Like, what is a yes? And it said, well, I told you a yes was the YMCA, to go there and be working at the YMCA a couple months ago. And so there's your yes. So I doubled back, went and connected with my the person I've been speaking with at the Y, who had already offered me a job earlier in the year, and picked that up. And throughout the summer, I've been working the Y and doing some other odd jobs, and then coaching as well. Just trying to figure out, like, I don't know, just trying to navigate a lot of things and create some stability in my life. So fall rolls around. I'm given the offer again. Hey, do you want to come do fire? And this go around, I said, you know what? I'm going to go do it. Well, that's not what I said. I had a back and forth and a back and forth, and but I decided to go do it. And so the last few weeks, that's where I've been. I've been away. I was in the woods up here in Washington. I went on one run, which was about 10 days, and it was a fun experience. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun to be out there in the woods with people, and you know, using my body, learning new skills. It was nice to be the old guy and know how to be the new guy. So all the skills that I had learned over the years of doing, you know, new trades and experiences, I was able to apply. I was concerned about my back and my knees. They give me a little bit of they've got my attention over the last couple of years. I've had some issues with my back, and none of them were an issue. I was able to, you know, climb up steep terrain carrying a pack, swing an axe, you know, dig holes all day, long days, sleep in the dirt, do it again. So I was happy about that. It felt good, but it still felt off. The whole thing felt off. It felt off going out there. I knew it was off when I went out there, but I said I'm going to do it anyway. I said, I'm sorry, forgive me, but I'm going to do it anyway. So it was a fun experience, but when I came back, it still felt off. So I've decided not to go back out. And one of the things that became apparent to me, like in this experience, was how capable I am of showing up to a situation that, like a new job. I'm capable of it. I know how to show up. I know how to be an asset. I know how to be useful, you know, to be out of the tent and at the trucks and ready to go before other people are. You don't have to tell me. I'm not somebody you have to hunt down. And it was interesting for me to recognize how I know how to do that, and I'm willing to do that, and I will do that for things like the fire service. And I've also been seeking in my life for somewhere to do that. You know, coaching is one area where I've done that too. But to have like this intuitive hit to come down to, you know, the YMCA and support my community through helping people get in shape, and I don't know what else, you know, I'm being called to do down here, but it's interesting to like have this call and also like not show up to it and drag my feet and be reluctant and be resistant and not want to, and come on, is this really it, and to be above it. And so yeah, that was just something that came through when I was out there working. Was like, oh wow, I show up pretty well for this. I don't show up well for the divine calling of showing up and supporting my family and my community through exercise and fitness, because I think that I should be doing something else or somewhere else, or, you know, doing it a different way, or the way that I'm here to support people looks like coaching. It doesn't look like training, whatever. Just like my own nonsense that kind of is getting in the way of me showing up and being of service, you know, and having this part of me that's constantly irritated because I want to show up and be of service and support my family and support my community. And here's like an opportunity to do that. And instead of being like, all right, awesome, I'm going to show up to that, I'm like, no, that's not how I want to do it. It's supposed to look like this. I'm supposed to do it this way. It's supposed to be, you know, whatever. So that's been just really interesting, noticing how the little me, the ego, the body mind is arguing with like the big me, like the capital S self, that's saying, go here, do this. And I'm saying, I think I know better than you, God. I'm going to use the word God. I know better than you. I know how things need to be done, and it's not like that. And so I bring all this up, not just to recount it for myself, but also working with a client yesterday. We kind of had a conversation. I was relaying some of these things to him. And it's just, I think it's something that a lot of people that are like purpose-driven individuals that want to make an impact in the world probably deal with, is that we shirk our responsibilities that are right in front of us because we think we know best how something needs to be done, how we need to be in the world, how we need to be showing up, or what our path or what our purpose is, or maybe we don't know best, but we think we have an idea. And how, I don't know, for me personally, humbling myself to do what it is that I'm being asked to do, regardless of whether or not it's what I prefer to do, is just about the highest, I think, expression of an individual possible, of myself possible, right? To set aside my own wants and desires in order to serve people in the way that I'm being asked to serve them versus the way that I think that I need to do it. It's a very humbling experience. It requires humility. It requires openness, surrender, letting go of my own preconceived notions and ideas of what life in the future is supposed to look like, of even what my gifts and talents are. And instead it forces me to look at like what I'm being asked to do and how I can help and how I can serve this person in the way they need it, not the way that I think that they need it or the way that I think I need to be doing it. So showing up is what it is. It's about showing up. It's showing up. In my mind, I wonder what happens when I show up to this particular position instead of dragging my feet. I show up to this position like I would on the fire line, ready to go in the morning. First one there. You don't have to come find me. You don't have to go look for things. I'm paying attention. I'm giving it my all. I'm taking action. And I wonder how, in our lives, not just my life, but, the life of any artist or any coach or any practitioner, how things might be different if we were to show up fully to all the aspects of what it is we're called to do. My client yesterday runs retreats, loves running retreats, has challenges with the administrative side of things, has challenges with the organization of his life side of things. So the question becomes, what if you showed up to the administrative side of things and the organization of your life with the same level of intensity and purpose and clarity and seriousness that you show up to the other aspects of your business that you like the actual coaching and facilitating part? Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe that's where the challenges in life are coming from, is because there's these other areas that we're just being fucking bombs around, for lack of a better way of saying it. We're just being selfish, lazy, and self-centered, egocentric about, it's not how I want to do it. So anyway, that was my insight that came from ignoring what I was feeling called to do and instead doing something else that I thought was the right thing to do, that people told me was a good thing to do, that opportunity painted and showed me was something good to do, but it was not on purpose, not on par, not the thing that felt correct. And that's a big thing that I've been learning over the years, and I try to live my life listening to that internal small voice that says go left instead of right. And it's something that I'm still wrestling with, apparently. And I don't know, I think this was a pretty big victory on that front, because to walk away from an opportunity such as this, in some ways, my initial hit on it is that, there's something wrong with me, I'm crazy, I shouldn't walk away from this. I feel embarrassed that I took it on just to let it go. But I think in another light, in another lens looking at it, it's like, man, I really let go of something that was very tempting. and it proves how serious I am about walking this path of what I'm asked to do versus what I want to do. It shows how serious I am of showing up to what I'm called to do versus what I prefer, and giving myself credit for that, because a lot of times I'm a very critical person. I don't know if I've talked about this in a video, but I should do it on the benefits and the downside of being a very critical person. But I'm very like constantly on my own ass about the decisions I make or don't make, the things I do or don't do, which is very beneficial, because I mean, I really attribute a lot of my success in the areas I am successful to the fact that I'm very critical about how I do things. Like, it needs to be done well. However, the other side of that sword is, I can cut myself up a lot with it. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to share here in this video, and I do plan on continuing to put videos up. Maybe it would behoove me not to be super specific about what that looks like, to say something, to make a commitment that I can't keep. So I'll just say this: I do intend to be putting these up more regularly, and who knows, maybe I'll do more from the Jeep in a parking lot. I do like this medium, of video. I do, but it's one of these areas, right, where I'm so critical. It needs to be done so right that I don't do it at all. So anyway, I'm not gonna make any crazy commitments, but I'll be around. Like this, subscribe, whatever people say on videos, share it with somebody, you know what I mean, show it to your cat, and we'll continue to see y'all here. That's it. Good day.